What's going on, everybody? You just stepped into another episode of the Purple Shade Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mikey Nungchuck. Or Timmy, again, if you know me well. My brother, Tori's son. What's good, bro? What's good?
Oh man, nothing much. Just another week of football and a lot to talk about, man. So much to talk about.
You just said a mouthful. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out. The hat I'm wearing. My kid goes to this school, University of Minnesota. Big win against USC this weekend. Let's give him a hand.
Hey.
Let's give him a hand.
Yes.
Big win for the Minnesota Golden Gophers on Saturday against USC. A Big Ten opponent, which is still weird to me that USC is in the Big Ten. But yeah.
Hey man, that's all right.
But man, that's not the only big thing that went on this weekend. We got some dubs, brother. We got some dubs. Two of them to be exact.
Yeah, we got two dubs. I'll be honest. One of the dubs are definitely prettier than the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? They were equally shady.
A little shady.
Just a little bit. We was a little shady with it. But we'll start with the first one. Minnesota Vikings, 5-0. 5-0, baby. 5-0. Let's go. Okay. One of the only, as of right now, the only 5-0 team in the NFL. I don't care about KC. I don't care.
Oh, well, they're playing right now.
They're playing right now. But right now, the Minnesota Vikings, baby. 5-0, the only 5-0 team in the NFL right now.
Let's go. That's right.
They got a big win over across the pond over in London. I hate those games because they're always so fluky. But we did predict a dub. They won 23-17. In a game, again, brother, they dominated the first half. Let's just say that. They dominated the first half. They kind of beat up on Aaron Rodgers a little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah, they
three.
It was like
3 sacks.
And they hit him a bunch of times. You know what I mean? They hit him a bunch of times. It was like that episode, for those of you who saw it, where, it was like, how many times we got to teach you this, old man? That episode of SpongeBob.
He is a seasoned veteran.
The man's over 40 years old, I think. Yeah, he's 40. I think he'll be 41 this year.
Oh, wow.
At some point, it's like, my man, come on. Hey, come on, take a seat next to me. Well, let's watch some football.
Let's watch some football on the couch.
Right. But it was a good game. Brother, tell me what you thought. Tell me your thoughts on this game.
Thoughts on the game? Like I said, Aaron Rodgers, he looked like he was not having a good time out there. I mean, the man almost tore his helmet off in just disbelief and disgust that his wide receivers weren't catching the ball and scoring the touchdowns that they needed, especially in the first half. Right at the end, they wanted to get the touchdown, make it 14-17 going into the half, had to settle for the field goal. I mean, I can understand. I would say Aaron Rodgers was a very good quarterback with Green Bay, and now he's with the Jets. The way I saw that game for them, they had a decent start. I'm just going to say decent. Really weren't scoring that much until the second quarter where they started to shine a little bit. And, well, the Vikings kind of, they were just running on all cylinders all game. You know what I mean? You're talking 2 long field goals for 50-plus yards. And the last one, 45, 46 yards. Not to mention Jefferson, they couldn't stop that boy. I don't know what was going on. He was everywhere, talking sideline to sideline, the deep balls, he was there. They couldn't stop him from getting the first downs. It was definitely, in my opinion, a one-sided game. And then it kind of got what we call, a little fluky. Just a little fluky.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. Yes. Just a little fluky.
Just a little fluky.
Well, yeah, because it was kind of like we've seen this before with these I'm not even going to say the Ravens and the Vikings, just with these football games. You know what I mean? It seems like one team's just dominating one sided, and then it's like the other team just gets a, I don't know, a fresh pair of trousers, and it's like, hey, I'm clean. We're ready to go. We're going to do this again. We're going to start over. Write a new script, write a new book. And it's just a totally different game after the second half.
They go in, take a shower at halftime. All right, let's do this again.
I guess they got to wash the disgust off them. I don't know. But that seems to happen a lot in these football games, especially this year. It seems like the first half goes one way. The second half is either 100% going the other direction, or I don't know what to call it. Can't put a stamp on it.
Can't put a stamp on it?
No, sir.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely been fluky. Again, the Vikings first half, they were up 17-7 at halftime. They came out the gate again, they scored, and then all of a sudden they slowed down, right? Like the Jets settled in. Again, these London games are they're so fluky, man, because like all of us, right? Like every human being, we're creatures of habit. But these athletes, they're even worse than we are, right? Because, these guys are superstitious. They like to do the same thing every day. They like to eat the same meals. They have a routine, game day. All that's flipped upside down once they go over to these overseas games, man. And it's fluky. It's very, very fluky. And you just don't know the outcome because, man, it's hard to peg what's going to happen because they seem a little off. You know what I mean? But again, the one thing the Vikings have done most of this year, they've only trailed, I think, for like 3 or so minutes the whole season. They've only trailed for like 3.5 minutes the whole season, which is ridiculous.
That's amazing.
Right? But they start out fast. They do. That's what you have to do. So they're always playing, they're always playing ahead. They're never playing from behind. But it just seemed like in this game, they came out, they started fast, and then all of a sudden, the Jets defense settled in, right? And they started slowing down the Vikings a little bit. You didn't slow down Justin Jefferson. He almost had 100 yards. He had 6 receptions for 92 yards. No touchdowns, but 6 receptions, 92 yards is nothing to sneeze at, right?
That's right.
But, Sam Darnold didn't have a great day. He still had under 200 yards passing, but they won, right? And again, you'll take that. No, none of these stats jump out at me, He was okay. He was under 50%, Sam Darnold, 179. Aaron Rodgers threw the ball 54 times, bro.
Oh, my.
54 times. You know what I mean? They rushed the ball for 20. The Jets rushed the ball for 36 yards on 14 carries. 36 yards, 14 carries. Wow. 2.6 yards a clip. That's ridiculous.
And that's between both of their running backs.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were behind the whole game, right? So, of course, you have to. And then Aaron Rodgers at his age, man, it's like, okay, you asking him to do this. He's getting hit. A lot of them wasn't sacks, man, but he was getting beat up. Sometimes it was taking him a while. The Vikings shot themselves in the foot with that penalty on special teams, right? They got the Jets off the field. Aaron Rodgers just got rocked. He's about to go into the blue tent. And then what did they do? They committed a penalty, which was utterly ridiculous. It wasn't roughing the kicker. The guy was on the ground. It really wasn't that egregious. It could have been a 5-yard, not a 15, but a 5-yard penalty instead of the 15. But they got the benefit of the doubt. 15 yards. He literally just walked right back on the field. He was limping off the field. Then he just ran right back on the field. Didn't even go in the blue tent. And then they go down and score. And then that's when the momentum just changed. And we've said this the last couple of weeks, right? It's football. It's sports. Everybody makes a run. And they did. They made a run, They had no choice because they couldn't run the ball, so they had to throw the ball. And man, the Vikings, they did enough. They did enough to get a win overseas, and I'll take it. It wasn't pretty. Defense showed up, especially Gilmore with that interception, when I was nervous. I was nervous. I thought the way the momentum was going, I thought the Jets might get one there. But,
right.
Great play by Gilmore, picked off Rodgers. I didn't even see it. All I saw was him on the ground. And all of a sudden, Smith came over there, he just jumped on him. It's like, oh, we picked it off. Oh, that's game. That was game. They call game. So, man, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's one of those games. Look, usually I'm snacking during the games. This one I'm eating breakfast. You know what I mean? I'm eating biscuits and drinking orange juice, watching this game. You know what I mean?
Is that not supposed to be the calmest time of the day? When you wake up, you make your breakfast, you're relaxing,
right?
And yet you got to turn on the TV to see your favorite football team play a game, and it's looking iffy. And then all of a sudden, that morning breakfast just turns into you're running late for brunch. That's kind of what it turns out to be. It's like, how can I deal with this right now? I'm supposed to be relaxing. And I can't because I'm watching this. You're not going to watch it. No, you're going to watch it.
Oh, absolutely.
And the performance, regardless of the fact they're 5-0, regardless, they are 5-0. We will take it. But at the same time, these games, the two that we're covering in this episode, nail biter central. That's what I'm going to say. Edge of your seat. You could be falling off, I don't know, but your nerves are not right watching the Ravens versus the Bengals or the Vikings versus the Jets because you just don't know what's going to happen. And to be honest, these are not the teams that we saw last week.
No.
It was
with this when we get to the Ravens. I told you so. I told you. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you it wasn't going to look the same? I told you that, didn't I?
It didn't. It didn't look the same.
It did not. I told you they weren't going to look the same as you just saw them, right?
No, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, initially I thought that the Vikings when they were scoring, I'm like, okay, they might run away with this because they're shutting down the Jets. But then it went from kind of a snoozer to okay, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. The Jets are coming back now. But hey, look, you take the win. You especially a win overseas, man. You take that win and you get the, what out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just glad. Look, 5-0, no major injuries. We're going into a bye week, which is very early. I hate early bye weeks. I mean, it's week 5, man, and you got a bye already. I like my bye weeks anywhere between weeks 9 and 12, right? Kind of middle of the season. Take a week off, recharge, get ready for the second half. Man. So now they have a bye right here, week 5, right? So now they got to play another 11 games. No, 12 games. They got 12 more games after this.
With no time to recharge or rest.
With no time to recharge. So now you got to run off 12 straight games. That's brutal with no bye. So, but they're healthy, which is good. No. Aaron Jones got hurt. I think it was his quad or his hip, something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I did see he had the heating pad on, and he wasn't in the game, which really could have. The Vikings may have done a little bit better, but losing Aaron Jones hurts. But they still got to win, right? But again, it was a good game.
Oh, no, most definitely. And with that, I guess we'll go right into the Vikings offense. Like, how do you feel? Put it to you like this. How do you feel Sam Darnold played?
He played like Sam Darnold. He has.
He did Sam Darnold things?
He did Sam Darnold things.
I'm not going to lie to you.
He threw another pick. He
did.
Which was pretty costly. A little boneheaded, right? But I've learned to live with it so far because we're winning. If it starts costing us a game, then it's going to be concerning. But this defense has been able to pick him up. But at the end of the day, hey, look, and let's be honest. The Jets have a very good defense. The Jets do not have, that is not a slouch defense, right? The Jets are no joke on defense. So I'm not going to act like, oh man, he did this against, the Patriots or something like that, a team with a bad defense. Or it's not like he lit up the Ravens because everybody's lighting up the Ravens, but we'll talk about that later.
Later.
He, look, he played well enough to win. You know what I mean? He didn't make too many mistakes. Again, Aaron Jones getting hurt really hurt this offense. It took away his ability, of course, in the run game and even in the pass game, because Aaron Jones is so big, being able to come out the backfield in the pass game. You know what I mean? He's just another threat, And then when you have guys like, Ty Chandler fumbling, he had a fumble, which cost us, you know what I mean? And then Sam Darnold throws that pick. If they don't turn the ball over, they could have won this by 2 scores. It wouldn't have been that close. But you shot yourself in the foot twice, and you scraped out a win, Good thing you got Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison did his thing. He had 36 yards, 3 catches. But it was, man, it was a real pedestrian day. Like, nobody went off the side. It really was, bro. It was a really pedestrian day. You can't, like, my offensive star for the Vikings, Justin Jefferson. 6 catches, 93 yards. We need a big catch. Find Justin Jefferson. And that's what they did, right? It's not much I can say about offense, so I'm not gonna take up that much time on the offense because it was just really just it was a very pedestrian day on offense. Defense shined. It was a defensive day. It was a defensive day for the Vikings. Now granted, they gave up, 244 yards, which is on 54 attempts. That's primo right there.
Right.
But the offense, it was a pedestrian day.
I mean, I'm gonna say if I have to give a star to a player for that game, I'm gonna give it to Aaron Jones. I know he got hurt, but the man had half the carries of Ty Chandler with 1 yard less in all his carries.
I mean, yeah. But you make my point, right? Because he was running for 4 yards a clip before he got hurt.
Right.
You take that off the field, and your offense then struggles. Well, what do you expect to happen, right? If he didn't get hurt, we could be talking about a totally different game, a totally different offense.
Right.
But that goes to show, only in 5 games with Aaron Jones being here, how important he is to this offense. He is so important to this offense. Without him, again, it looks pedestrian, even with Justin Jefferson on the field.
No, that's true. I would definitely say Justin Jefferson. He was definitely just, from what I saw, he was everywhere. They couldn't stop him. Even Sam Darnold, I mean, some of his running capability that he has kept some of those plays going for those guys get open. And I was kind of astounded when I saw it. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's good in the pocket, but he can also maneuver around a little bit to extend the play, get the ball out to where it needs to. I'll definitely say, man, they looked like Sam Darnold, besides the fact that he did Sam Darnold things, he did get knocked down hard one time, and I was a little worried too. And then Mullins came in for, a couple,
he came in for a play.
Yeah, for a play. Made a big play, right.
Big play.
But then, Sam Darnold came back, and he was back out there slinging. It was like, okay. You know what I mean? Them guys look good. And especially, I can't say it enough, especially Justin Jefferson. I mean, Jordan Addison, he had, like you said, 3 catches, 36 yards, but Justin Jefferson 6 for 92 yards, like no touchdowns. But he was targeted 14 times. They could not stop this guy. I mean, like you said, the Jets defense is no slouch, nothing to sneeze at. But Justin Jefferson, man, he's no doubt a star on the Vikings.
Best wide receiver in the league.
It's crazy.
He's the best wide receiver in the league.
The things he gets open. That's it. Like we said this last week. Justin Jefferson is just open.
All the time.
Just all the time. Can't shake the fact. Can't fade it. He is open. He is so huge for this club. And then, yet again, got to give it to Kevin O'Connell. Team is 5-0. Offense is looking good. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're human. We do some bonehead things. I saw some bonehead plays out there. It happens. But at the end of the day, you got the dub. And what makes it more important is that team's still undefeated. That's my opinion. Why I think that the wins that the Vikings get are so huge at the moment. It's an undefeated record. Every team they go up against, they win. Doesn't have to be pretty because sometimes it's not. I want to be a Vikings fan. I do. My pain. Where is it? There it is. My pain. Because watching that game, I wasn't as stressed as watching the other game, and that right there was just. This is a good football team. This is all around. I'm talking offense, defense, special teams, especially with the like we talked about before. The kicker, man, he was hot.
Yeah.
Two long field goals, 50 yards plus. They won 54 yards, the other 52, and then hits a chip shot for him at 45. Everything was clicking for him. Defense was stopping the Jets. Offense was running over him. And your special teams can pick up the pieces. What more do you need? And then you got a decent head coach. No, you got a great head coach. I'm sorry. You got a great head coach.
Not with that bonehead special teams play.
That
hurt us. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's a very good team. It's a very good, well-rounded team. And the thing, as good as the defense has been, the offense on most days can keep up with them.
Right.
If they don't turn the ball over twice, this could have been a blowout. And that's right now, that's how good the Vikings are, right?
Right.
You look around the NFL and you listen to some of the, some of the people in the 3 and 4 letter networks, and you ask them right now, who's the best team in the NFL? A lot of them will say the Ravens.
Really?
They will.
Am I explaining why?
That guy with that 8 on his jersey.
Oh, this
that guy right there.
That guy?
Yeah, the reigning league MVP. But I mean, yeah, we'll get to them. But I mean, again, it was a pedestrian offensive day. Losing Aaron Jones was big there.
Right.
But they're 5-0. They look good. They're not this is the thing. They're not a fraud 5-0 team. Like the Steelers, they were 3-0, but you knew they were frauds. And they've lost their last 2, which goes to show you that was a fraud 3-0. But we all knew that, right?
We did.
You look at Kansas City, and I mean, first week, you barely scraped that out. The Ravens, the new offense they hadn't played. That was basically a Ravens preseason game. And they won by a toe, right?
A toe. No, a toe.
And then the Bengals, they only won because of a fluke 4th down, which we all knew was going to happen. Something was going to happen and they were going to get it. But they get that. And then, man, it's they're not setting the world on fire. They're just barely scraping it out. But that's not what the Vikings are doing. And the Vikings have beat legit teams. They beat the Texans, good team. They beat the 49ers, good team. Right?
Right.
They beat the Jets. And the Jets are okay team. Like, the Jets are better than their record. I think, Aaron Rodgers is struggling, but he's going to struggle, man. The dude's 40 years old coming off an ACL. They're going to struggle a little bit, but the Vikings wins are like legit wins. They are.
Right.
They're legit wins. And they're a legit team. Right now, they're the best team in the NFC. Hands down. There's nobody better than them than the Vikings right now in the NFC. Nobody. They beat the Packers. Good team. Packers are a good damn team. Right? Their wins. They're stacking wins against good. The wins that they have already in the NFC, let's think about this. They have wins against the Packers in their division on the road. They've already beat them in Lambeau. They have a win against the 49ers. Right? That's going to be huge when it comes to seeding. And, it's like the only other teams you're really going to have to deal with, honestly, is probably the Lions, of course, right? But I think they can beat the Lions. and whoever comes out of the East. But the NFC East is, Dallas, the Giants, Philly. Philly looks like they're struggling, you know, and I just don't see anybody else. I mean, the 49ers lost yesterday to the Cardinals. It's a division game, but
Mm.
they're 2-3, but they're better than that. They are, you know, and I just don't see anybody else. The Vikings are head and shoulders the best team in the NFC, you know. So, hey, keep it going. Go into the bye, come back out. I forgot who we got coming out the bye. I'll figure it out. But right now I'm just at the bye. That's all I'm thinking about. We're at the bye. And I'm happy to be at the
is
bye.
it the Rams?
2-game lead right now. They got the Rams.
They play the Lions on the 20th. So wait, no, this is the bye they're going in right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then they got the Lions.
They got the Lions.
And where's that at?
At the Lions versus the Lions.
In Detroit.
Ooh,
they brutal.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I take that back. They're at home.
Oh, they're at home?
They're at home.
They'll get that win.
They are at home.
They'll get that win.
I take that back. I'm sorry.
They'll get that win. Which if they get that win, that will put them 3 games up in the division, because right now then that would make them 6-0, and Detroit is right behind them at 3-1. So they're already up basically 2 games on Detroit. Does Detroit play tonight?
Detroit?
Or are they off? No, there's only 1 game tonight, right?
I believe so. And that's yeah. Just New Orleans and Kansas City.
Man, did they have a bye? I don't remember Detroit playing this week. They have a bye. That's weird.
I'm checking right now.
I know, that's really weird. Huh.
I do not. Still looking. I don't see him.
Man, that's really weird. Wow, they have a bye? They had a bye this week? Okay, the NFL's doing weird stuff. That's really weird. But okay. Yeah, so they have a bye this week. Which means even if they come back, they beat Detroit, they're going to be up 2 games in the division. So they're setting themselves up for success. So when we look at the defense, right? Man, this defense is top notch. This defense is top notch. You know what I'm saying? They were beating up Aaron Rodgers all day. All day. They picked them off what? 2 picks.
2 picks?
No, I'm sorry. 3. 3 interceptions. 3. One of them went back for a touchdown. My man, Van Ginkel. Good old Van Ginkel. Man, he picked that ball off, turned around, was like, oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Touchdown. Touchdown. I mean, seriously, they were all over. They were on Aaron Rodgers like a fly on stink, bro.
No, this is true, yeah.
They were flying around making plays. Harrison Smith's out there getting sacks, breaking up plays. I mean, Gilmore with that big interception at the end. They put consistent pressure on Rodgers. The linebackers were flying around. And man, they just did a good number on him. For a while, I know Aaron Rodgers had to have some PTSD looking at those Viking helmets. Like, oh goodness, I recognize this. This ain't good. This ain't good. He looked a little frazzled. It took him a while to pick himself up off the ground. He looked like a 40-year-old dude. He looked like a 40-year-old dude asking himself, why am I out here right now?
Yeah.
He did. Man, a couple of times he didn't even want to get up. I know he didn't want to get up. He did not want to get up. He just laid there. You know how I think one time he was just crawling on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was crawling like, okay. You know how when you step on one of your kids' Legos and you're like, oh my God.
Oh no.
You think your life is over, like you just got shot. And you're like, oh my God. That was so tired. And you hit the floor and it's like, oh my God. You're in agony. That's what he looked like. He did. He looked like he stepped on one of his kids' Legos and like hard. You know how when you're not looking, you know what I mean? And you just go, oh my God. And you just, yeah, that's how he looked.
He was slow to get up a couple times.
He was. They were beating him up the whole game, and they did a number on him, and it was beautiful to see. But they do that every week. This defense is legit. Brian Flores has this defense just flying, man. They're flying around the ball, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. I'm gonna tell you like this: if they don't win a Super Bowl, this might be the last, ride because I can see. I mean, I'm okay. I can't say that because he's a black coach, and he had that whole, he filed that lawsuit, against I think it was the Dolphins or the NFL. Um, but I might see somebody taking a fly on him, unless he's just like he's blackballed and he's just not going to be another head coach. He may not. If that's the case, Minnesota better pay this man whatever he wants, and you keep him here to coach your defense. Excuse me. If somebody doesn't take him as a head coach, outstanding. Outstanding. There's nothing more to say. Brian Flores.
I'll say, I mean, the defense does look great. I mean, it's only a handful of guys on that defense that did not get a tackle in the game versus the Jets. Everybody else at least has one tackle. And that's beautiful to see. There's like everybody's getting involved. And that's what it is, a team sport. And that's a beautiful thing to see. I mean, of course, Harrison Smith, he stands out. Also, Ivan Pace Jr., both of them had 5 solo sacks, along with Stephon Gilmore also had 5 total sacks. I mean, not sacks, I'm sorry, 5 total tackles. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So the defense is playing. Oh, they came to play. You got to Bynum with 4, Cashman 3, Murphy 4. I don't even know how to say that guy's name, but he got 4 too. I can't pronounce it. Starts with an M. Can you help me?
That is, let me see. Metellus?
Metellus.
Metellus, yeah.
I definitely didn't want to say Nutella. But yeah, Metellus. Even he's got some tackles, man. Everybody's showing out on defense. It is a beautiful thing to see. Sacked Aaron Rodgers 3 times. Like I said, that old man, sorry, man, you're a good quarterback. But, man, you were slow to get up. You're 40 years old, man. You're 40 years old. That's all I could say. We can't expect a lot from you. You're a good pocket quarterback. You do your thing. It's awesome. But, I mean, you got a bunch of these guys that are younger, stronger, faster, and they're coming for you. And the Vikings is
that injury.
Yeah.
He's coming off that injury.
I mean, that doesn't help them, but still, this Viking defense is coming for him, and they had his number.
They did.
They had that man's number. It was crazy. They shut down the run game. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
And you know what's I'm just saying?
36 yards, right?
Right.
36 yards.
Wait, let's look at this. I want to make sure we're correct here. There's full team stat.
Yeah, 14 carries, 36 yards by Hall and Allen combined 36 yards.
Yeah, man, they shut the run game down. Yep, 36. Wow. 2.6 yards a carry. That's got to be upsetting, don't you think? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's the Vikings defense.
I think upsetting is one way to put it for a Jets fan.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay. Let's be honest. If this was flipped and we had 36 yards rushing, I would be like, what are y'all doing? They must have been getting blown out. I mean, the Jets were behind the whole game, but 36 yards that's minuscule in the NFL. Seriously. And for a defense to hold another team to that amount on, 14 carries, right? Between 2 guys, not just one guy. One guy got 14 carries. You would expect him to have, I mean, I don't know. But still, you hold a team to 36 yards rushing You did a number on them. You did. You did a number on them.
Look, man, not to mention the 3 and out when they tried to run the ball 4-2, stuffed. Late game 4-8, want the touchdown, incomplete. The defense just
showed up.
Yeah, they showed up. The Jets offense couldn't do anything with them.
Yeah, they showed up and showed out.
I mean,
absolutely.
I haven't seen that really in the NFL in a long time. They go for it, and 4th down territory, late game normally. But, middle of the game, 4th down, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, you know what I mean? They go for it. Okay, that's it. It seemed like they might have learned a lesson. Who knows? But that defense they said no. You said no to the touchdown, no to the first down. And the funny thing is they tried the same running play. The Jets tried the same running play back to back, and it didn't work. Defense didn't budge. They were like, oh, you're going to line up in the same formation? Okay, we're going to do the same thing. And they did because the previous play, they got stuffed.
Definition of insanity.
Gosh. Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? I got to do it. I have to do it. I'm just... John Harbaugh, that's the definition of insanity.
We haven't even gotten to him yet.
Oh, no. We'll get there. We will get there. I mean, you have anything else to say about the defense? I mean, it's only 50 seconds left on the timer. If you want to roll into the other significant nail biter, we can do so.
Man, to put a bow on that game, defense showed out, and they showed up. Again, they beat up Aaron Rodgers. He had PTSD from those Viking helmets. He saw that purple and he said, okay, no mas. Not today. I ain't got nothing for you today. Big time. They keep that up. I'm telling you, they got a shot.
Man, they definitely have a shot at 5-0 right now. They definitely have a shot. They have one of the best shots in the NFL at this current moment.
Yeah.
The best. Can't say anything else. Can't say anything bad about the Vikings right now. Well, the win didn't look pretty, but a win is a win. You guys are still 5-0, man. You keep doing what you're doing.
They don't blow leads.
Amen. Amen to that one. Because we're about to get into another game with a team that blows leads. And they're
hold on, let me.
You checking your blood pressure?
Yeah, I got to check my pressure after that game.
Yeah. I had to make sure I still had fingernails, whatever, at the end of that game because it was just edge of my seat. The whole
couple more gray hairs.
Oh, you too?
In the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple more gray hairs in there. Well, I got enough.
They say kids give you gray hair, but I think more so these days, it's football. High blood pressure, stress. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about the Ravens versus the Bengals on Sunday at 1:00.
In the jungle.
Well,
that's what they call it.
Well, what's funny to me? They could call it the jungle because, I mean, I don't know, maybe on a rainy day you might find a raven in the jungle. Maybe you might. It's a bird of a feather. Yeah, so, what?
Yeah. Man, look, this was a hell of a game, though.
It was a shootout.
It was a hell of a game, right? Lamar Jackson's the MVP for a reason. Lamar Jackson is the MVP for a reason, and he showed it. As good as Joe Burrow played, a lot of that was Jamar Chase, which let's be real.
It's Jamar Chase.
Unfreaking real. He was unfreaking real. Okay?
They couldn't stop him.
They could not. That defense was piss poor. I mean, come on. This dude, Jamar Chase was getting behind him. He was getting in front of him. He was breaking screens for 70 yards. T. Higgins was doing whatever he wanted to. Man, come on. But they got the dub, right? They got the dub. But I told you, what did I tell you? Bro, not going to look the same next week.
That's right. And
You see how they beat the Bills?
Yes.
They ran the ball down their throats. They didn't do that yesterday. They couldn't. I told you it was going to look different. If they were going to win, I told you it was going to look different, didn't I?
Yeah, no, you did.
Told you they weren't going to look the same. You weren't going to see the same thing this week, right?
Right.
No way. But they showed up again. Lamar willed them to that win. No Lamar Jackson, no win yesterday. There is no other quarterback, not even Patrick Mahomes would have did what Lamar did yesterday. Don't even try it. He wouldn't have. There's no way.
No, Lamar Jackson, he was, I would say same thing. Now he was everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm talking on the plays, extending the plays. It was just ridiculous. Like I remember one play, he muffs the ball, and then he's running away from this guy. Oh, he's running away from that guy to the sideline, and he throws it downfield for a complete pass.
Oh, you mean the play that everybody and their mother saw like the whole world open their mouth so wide that you could see down their throat, and they were just in shock? I was in utter shock of that play.
Me too.
The man drops the ball. He kneels down. He almost crawls to pick it up. He gets up, rolls out. He's got Hubbard on him. Stiff-armed him once. Okay, get off me. Then he stiff-armed again. Bro, I said get off me. He pushes him to the ground. Goes to the sidelines. He's got a linebacker bearing down on him. Pratt's bearing down on him. He's directing traffic, telling Likely, bro, go this way. Go. And then just jumps in the air, lets it go. He gets rocked out of bounds. Finds Likely for a touchdown. Gets up. High fives an NFL official. Bro. And then just walks off. The Ravens sideline was like this. We've seen this before. He's one of one. And some of these people will tell you that there are other quarterbacks in the league who could have did that. Maybe. Maybe one. But Lamar, he does it so much that it's like, it's just commonplace. I'll tell you like this. Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs. Patrick Mahomes wishes he was Lamar Jackson. See, Patrick Mahomes does, he wants to do underhand and trying to do stuff behind the back and do no look. See, because he has to get attention. Lamar does it naturally. He doesn't do it trying to be cool. Patrick Mahomes is one of those dudes where he tries to be cool, but he's a square. He's a square. He wants to be Lamar Jackson. He wants it. Lamar, it comes natural to Lamar.
Now, how about that?
Right? You ask anybody in the NFL, you ask NFL players, who's the worst guy to play against? Lamar. They don't say Patrick Mahomes. Lamar.
Lamar Jackson.
Who's the toughest quarterback? Lamar. Who do you don't want to face? Lamar. I'm going to put you like this. A lot of these other quarterbacks, they'll beat you. Patrick Mahomes will beat you. Josh Allen will beat you. Lamar will kill you. He'll break your spirit.
In the game. Okay? In the game.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like Lamar's John Wick. These other quarterbacks are just some other assassins who are out here in the John Wick universe. It's Lamar's world. We're just living in it. Okay? Because he just does it. Again, bro, it's just so effortless. It's like he's not even trying. He just out here just, you know what? Like, bro, get off me. Okay, no, seriously, bro, get off me. Like, stop playing with me right now. I gotta throw this touchdown pass. Isaiah, go this way. All right, thanks. Here, catch this. Who gets up high-fiving NFL officials? Well, besides Patrick Mahomes, because he's just crying at NFL officials, but still, he's amazing. Derrick Henry, amazing. Zay showed up yesterday. Bateman showed up yesterday. That whole offense showed up yesterday.
Zay Flowers definitely with 7 receptions, 111 yards, 15.
Zay balled out.
0.9 yards average.
Zay balled out. Yeah. Bateman balled out. Bateman balled out
Oh, yeah. Bateman, 4 catches for 58 yards.
in a tub.
He brought it home. No, he brought it home. Oh, also, I have to give a shout out to my guy. I didn't he's not a big name. I think we mentioned him a couple weeks ago. Charlie Kolar.
Kolar, yeah. You didn't even know who he was. 88. Who was that?
3 catches.
You know his name now, don't you?
3 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. One of them was a huge 56-yard catch.
How about that play? How about that play?
Amazing. Nobody was.
How big of an answer was that? Right? Cincinnati goes down to score. It's like they're up 10. Okay, we scored. They go down, score again. Lamar says, okay, watch this. Charlie Kolar. Whoop. And I texted you right after that.
Yes, you did.
How about that pass? Because you've been just a little critical of Lamar and his passing. And
the teardrops, yes.
His accuracy?
Yes.
How about that one?
No, that was perfect. He had time. You know what I mean?
How about the one to likely?
Oh, no, it was perfect. No, I think Lamar was upset. I'm going to change that. He was pissed off.
Talking that stuff. Yeah, he heard you talking that stuff about him.
He heard me talking because I'll give you the rundown on that drive right now. 47 seconds.
Yep.
56-yard pass to Charlie Kolar. A 2-yard rush by Derrick Henry. And you talk a teardrop touchdown pass to Likely.
How about that?
It was amazing. 47 seconds it took them to go down the field and show the Bengals, hey, we still here. Ridiculous.
Bro, that game was a heavyweight fight.
It was a shootout.
Fight. All right.
41-38.
Man, I was no more good after that game. My pressure can't take that game. It was a heavyweight fight. Joe Burrow played out of his freaking mind too. He did.
Joe Burrow had a 77.3 quarterback rating.
5 touchdowns.
An interception.
5 touchdowns. Yeah, a costly interception.
Marlon Humphrey.
We'll get to that when we talk about defense. Yeah, there's your boy Marlon Humphrey. He got that pick. But man, I mean, just to put a bow in the recap, bro, that was a heavyweight fight.
Divisional game.
That wasn't typical AFC North football. Usually it's a slobber knocker, right? You know what I mean? But this was a good old-fashioned shootout. And it was an instant class. Right now, it was the best game of the year. That was game of the year.
Overtime, everything.
What's funny is I think the Ravens have, because initially they were calling already the Chiefs-Ravens game the game. Like, oh, this what a way to start a season. A toe, right? Was the difference in that game. But again, here are the Ravens again. Another instant classic. Just man, it was like Ali Frazier, bro. It was. They were going back and forth. Back and forth. It was nerve-wracking, but I loved it. I loved it.
It was entertaining to the T. Yes, high blood pressure. Yes, fingernail biter, whatever you want to call it. It was still entertaining. Just to watch that game, them going, the offenses going back and forth. Oh, you score. Okay, we're going to score. Oh, you scored again. Okay, we're going to score again. They were up and down the field all game. All game. And for those who said it, and Steelers fans, the Ravens, it seems like they play 4 quarters of football now. I'm going to say that. Last week they played 4 quarters.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Oh.
We got a long way to go.
Still. 41 points.
John Harbaugh still coaches his team. And I'll get to him in a second. Matter of fact, we still in the recap. We're going to overtime on the recap. I want to keep this clean. What the crap are you doing calling a timeout with 40-something seconds left on 3rd down? What are you doing? What a bonehead thing to do. I don't know what he was thinking. Because don't tell me you thought, oh yeah, we're gonna get this 1st down. Bro, I don't know if that's arrogance or just ignorance. You literally cost us 7 points. And yeah, I'm one of those people who say us, right? Because I root for the Ravens, okay? I'm from Baltimore. Root for the Ravens. I buy merchandise. Damn it. Yes, us. If I buy merchandise, us.
Oh, that's right. I gotta agree
I
with
got
you.
my Sunday ticket. Us.
Look, I'll vouch for him. We watched many
Bro.
games with Sunday football, Ravens playing.
What are you doing? You don't get the first down, stop the clock. They get the ball back, they go down, score a touchdown. Instead of being up 5, now you're down. What are you doing? Again, man, it's every week. It's like the bonehead call of the week. Who we got this week? Tori? John Harbaugh. What a surprise.
John Harbaugh.
I mean, seriously, man. I mean, what were you thinking? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Some of these, and he's been doing it the whole year, man. You're a 17-year veteran head coach. You should know better, but he doesn't, man. But it just goes to show. It goes to show how much, as good as this team is, John Harbaugh will sabotage this team with his buffoonery, with his arrogance, with his ego. That's why when they won in 2012, it was a mutiny because they were like, dude, we're not listening to you. You are an idiot. Let us go out here and play, please, and be quiet.
Speaking of
if this team doesn't do that, they won't win. Seriously, if this team does not do that, they will not win because he will find a way with his buffoonery to do it. And he does not deserve Lamar Jackson. This dude does not deserve Lamar. Lamar's too good for this guy.
John Harbaugh doesn't deserve Lamar Jackson, but the Ravens do.
The Ravens do, but he doesn't.
No, that's pretty good. Speaking of boneheadness, who do you think called that run play at the 1? Right when that safety happened.
What does it mean? In hindsight, you would say Todd Monken. But I mean, if you watch the play, it wasn't a zone play, but Falele played it like it was a zone play. He crashed left. Rosengarten kicked to the outside. I believe Falele shouldn't have kicked. He shouldn't have kicked down. The guy in front of him, he never blocked him, which is why he got through.
Right.
If he would have instead of kicking down to the center, kicking down left, you should have just kicked out. He should have kicked out and let
Checked
it
him.
left to get to open the hole because Rosengarten kicked out right. Derrick Henry, it should have been a hole there, but it wasn't. I don't know what he was thinking, but again, it's those little bonehead plays that have cost us, right?
Right.
And this is where I'm going with it. It's obvious they can't run the ball to the right side, right?
That's
I know
true.
we're transitioning to offense now, right? Let's just transition to offense. Let's do that, right? That's what we're going to next, right?
Transition to offense.
So it's stuff like that makes you think, okay, I know Falele's had a couple good games, but it's clear, and tell me if I'm wrong, that they still can't run the ball to the right side. That call in overtime, where did it go? Pitch left.
Pitch left. Yep.
Almost all of Henry's big runs, except the run against the Bills, the first one, that was to the right, beautifully blocked. But man, it just seems that, and it's noticeable to everybody, you can't run to the right side. I get it. Rosengarten's a rookie, but Falele, again, he's not a guard. He's a natural tackle, and he's too slow. But you can't run to the right side. And defenses know that. If we can see it, you don't think a defensive coordinator can see that? So, man, to answer your question, I'm pretty sure Todd Monken called that, but it's boneheaded. If you know you can't run to the right side, why are you running to the right side from the 2-yard line?
Exactly. No, that's correct. Why are you doing that? And yet again, it gets blown up. And it's a safety to boot.
How do you get a safety with Derrick Henry in your backfield?
That's a good question. Because the man had 6.1 yards a clip. How does that? I don't know how that happens. That's preposterous. Given his stats in this game, that's crazy for that to happen. A stuff at the 1 results in a safety. That's beyond me. I can't transition with it.
I'm not even going to try to figure that one out because it would hurt my brain. But I just don't. I don't know, man. Some of these. I mean, look. I don't want to. Again, they put up 41 points.
No, they did. Yes,
they didn't get much help from the defense. But this offense. I mean, besides that, I can't think of besides that play, which is really huge. Besides that play, man, I can't think of a bad play that. I mean, Todd Monken was in his bag, though. You know what I mean? Lamar looked great. They were stopping the run, right? Because Derrick Henry, he only had what? I mean, you look at the stats: 15 carries, 92 yards. One of those 92, that was a 51-yard run in overtime.
Right.
So that means in regulation, right? You're looking at he had 41 yards in regulation on 14 carries. Think about this. What we talked about in the Vikings game, right? 36, it was 36 yards on 14 carries between two guys. So in regulation, they were shutting down the run. Lamar just went off, which goes to show you that they can win a shootout. If you stop Derrick Henry, Lamar can still destroy you, which he did. But Derrick Henry basically had 41 yards on 14 carries. No,
yeah.
we just talked about 36 yards on 14. That was 41. That's not that much better. Right?
That's no, you're right. Yep. That's not that much
They
better.
shut him down. Justice Hill had 5 for 17. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's okay. It's not great, and it's okay. Lamar ran the ball a couple of times. Well,
no, he 12
55, which is way too much. Again, it's still way too much. It didn't seem like, and the reason why I'm looking at it is like Lamar didn't run too much, but he ran for 12 times. It's just I don't remember him running the ball 12 times. It was one of those games where it's like he had 12 carries. Really?
No, exactly.
It didn't
yes.
look like it.
Right.
Which again is way too many, and I'm pretty sure a few of them were just scrambles, But man, they were shutting you down in the run, right? Because I don't count Lamar's yards as really runs because some of those yards come off scrambles.
Right.
Yeah, some of those yards come off scrambles. But he lit them up. Lamar lit them up. 348.
Yes, he did.
348, man. I mean, 119 quarterback rating. Ooh, man. 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. He did drop the ball a couple times.
No, he did. And that, when you said you couldn't think of another bad play, that
was it.
That was it. That popped into my head.
You want to know why I couldn't think of it? Because again, remember I told you I went to get my wing stop when they fumbled in overtime.
Right. I told you about it.
Yeah. Well, I saw it. I mean, I saw that the Bengals had the ball, but I didn't know why. And then, I saw it. I was on Twitter and I saw like, oh God, he fumbled.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
That's it. Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, a couple misdirection plays by the MVP, muffs the ball twice. It's definitely nothing we like to see. But in other news, with the offense, I would say they did actually fairly well. You know what I mean? Zay Flowers, 7 catches, 111 yards. Charlie Kohler, not a big name yet again. 3 receptions, 64 yards, a huge 56-yard break. It was amazing. And a touchdown to boot. Rashad Bateman, 4 catches for 58. Rashad Bateman did a thing. Mark Andrews, I got to give it up for my man Mark Andrews. He's had a quiet season.
Mark Andrews sighting.
Yeah. It's a wild Mark Andrews. He had 4 catches for 55 yards. finally, Mark Andrews is working his way back in his grooves before the injury last year when Likely took over. It seems like Likely had a bit more chemistry with the team going forward. I mean, Likely wasn't too impactful on the game, 3 catches for 13 yards. He did have a touchdown. He did have that beautiful teardrop touchdown. Yes, Likely.
Isaiah had 2 touchdowns.
Oh, he had 2 touchdowns. I see it. Yes, he had 2 touchdowns. Right, but short teardrop touchdowns.
Lamar play.
Yes.
On that short, crazy Lamar play.
Right. Like the yardage wasn't there, but the touchdown strikes are.
Let me tell you what happened with Mark Andrews. Charlie Kohler was balling.
He was like, this can't be happening.
He saw the other white guy getting this. He said, wait a minute, hold up. Nah.
Like, who is this guy?
Y'all not getting rid of me that quick. Nah. And then he showed up. He started getting open. He was like, wait a minute. No. I see what's happening. Y'all not going to get rid of me.
Well, I'm glad he showed up and showed out a little bit because, I mean, I hate to harp on last week. That pass from Lamar Jackson to Mark Andrews, he was wide open. Hit him right in the hands and dropped it. It's like, that's not the Mark Andrews that we know.
I've seen Mark drop plenty of passes, especially in the playoffs.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure during those seasons he's had a lot more targets. This season, not so much. And when he gets a look, it's still.
I think he's still hurt, man.
You think so?
Well, look, he's coming off the injury last year. Then he got in that accident. I don't think he's 100%. I don't think he's 100%.
He definitely doesn't play like he's 100%.
He doesn't look 100%.
Right.
He doesn't. Now, he had all offseason to get. Now, supposedly he was back and ready, which I still don't think he should have been back and ready for the AFC Championship game. He just wanted to get back because it was a championship game, which I still think they should have kept him out. But
right. Yeah, they swapped Likely and Andrews, and it feels like they should have just kept Likely in.
They should have just kept Likely, right. But
I totally forgot about that. Man, yeah.
I mean, hindsight is 20/20 on that, but he's just, I don't know. He seems like he's starting to get back, but initially, especially at the start of the season and last few weeks, he just hasn't looked like normal Mark Andrews.
That's true.
He's been blocking his butt off, though. He has. You know what I mean? So he's still playing his part. He's still, it's not like he's moping.
Right.
Because he hasn't been getting the ball. He's still blocking his tail off, man. He's still playing football, which I love about him. But I think he's starting to see he's not as needed as he used to be.
Right.
Isaiah's kind of turned into that kind of Lamar, like he's my new, kind of blanket. Besides Zay, but I think with Zay, and Zay had a bunch of catches too, right over 100 yards.
Right.
I think Zay has just turned into like the number 1 option, and like Bateman could be option 2 or 3.
Right.
Because Bateman's always open.
He is. No, he is always open.
Yeah, he has one of the best releases off the line that I've seen in a long time. The kid gets open, right?
Right.
And he's even starting to find his way. He's had some big catches the last few weeks. I mean, he had the big catch in the KC game. But I think he's finding his way finally to be like, okay, I see what my role is here. Do my thing. When you need a big catch, I'm right here.
And that's great. No, that's awesome. He is always open. We talked about this, a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago, actually. It seemed like Lamar Jackson was kind of avoiding Bateman because when he would be targeted and he would be open, it was just no connections.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he drops a few. I mean, but look, let's be honest. Look, what wide receiver doesn't drop the ball from time to time? It happens. But it's good. It's good. Last 2 weeks, Rashad's got touchdowns. He's starting to get that confidence.
Right.
They're going to need him. He is the number 2 wide receiver on this team behind Zay. They're going to need him. Nelson Aguilar, man, week by week, I'm just starting to be like, you know what? A good veteran presence, but Tylan Wallace showed out yesterday. Couple big catches, right?
Yeah, 15 yards each. Yep.
Right? So he's showing up. And it's good for that kid to get some confidence also because I think they're going to need him. I think you're going to start to see more Tylan Wallace, less Nelson Aguilar. Seriously. At least that's what I'm hoping. If it could be Zay, Bateman, Wallace with a little maybe Aguilar mixed in, if you go like a 4, if they go like, depending on the personnel, man, if they go 2-by-2, yeah, sure, with receivers. But I like Wallace right now over Aguilar because I think Wallace is hungry. You know what I mean? He showed it yesterday. He showed up yesterday, and man, they were just clicking. They were. They were clicking. You almost forgot Derrick Henry played on this team because, they were down by 10. And I think that's partially, it could be an issue going forward. The Bengals have a bad defense. If they play a game with a good defense and they can't run the ball, like I said last week against the Bills, it's not going to look like this every week.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. They go up against a good defense where they can't really run the ball. They're not scoring 41 points.
No, this is true. That was kind of unheard of for us. 41 points by the Ravens. That's not a normal thing we see here in Baltimore.
No, I mean, they can put up points. I mean, Lamar averages almost 30 a game. Like, they score points, but 41, they had to.
Yeah, right. They had to. They were down, yes.
Man, is it time to get to the other side of the ball?
Oh, it's been time. We were just chatting it up. It's been time. Are you ready to cook? Because I'm ready to cook.
Bro.
Oh, I'm ready to cook. Hold on. I got you.
Let me fire up the grill. Hold on.
You gonna fire up the grill?
Let me fire up the grill.
I got the hot dogs. Oh my God.
Let me fire up the grill. I'm about to throw some ribs on here. Hold on. This defense. Please tell me what were y'all doing? I can't even get the words out. I'm so upset. You letting Jamar Chase do whatever he want. This dude's breaking 70-yard screens. He's getting behind you. Marcus Williams, that dude is stealing money. You might as well not have anybody back there. I mean, I'm dead. He was way out of position. He acted like he didn't know what he was looking at. You looking at Jamar Chase running behind you, bro. That's what you looking at.
All game.
You know what I'm saying?
All game.
I mean, the whole game.
And T. Higgins.
And T. Higgins. I mean, seriously. I mean, they shut down the run, right? They had 30 yards, 23 yards rushing. I'm sorry, no, they had 71 yards rushing on 23 carries. But they basically shut down the run. Chase Brown had 46 yards. Okay. Oh, great. But you let Joe Burrow go for 292 on you. Jamar Chase had over 200 yards. What are y'all doing?
190.
Zach Orr. Well, okay, almost 200.
Almost
200 yards. I'm sorry. I meant to say almost. I meant to say almost 200, not over 200. I'm sorry. Almost 200 yards. Zach Orr. You want to cover him? Maybe.
It's a good idea.
Y'all want to tackle this guy? The one play, man, it was so frustrating. The one play, the screen, like we had just scored. You let them go one play, 70 yards.
Talk about killing morale, bro.
Who played well on this defense yesterday, Tor?
Let me look. I can't really. Roquan Smith and Stevens. That's it. I would say that's pretty much it. Kyle Hamilton. He wasn't there really.
He was getting pushed all over the field. Man, on that one play, Jamar Chase, he was way out of position, and then he's reaching for air. Jamar Chase just ran right past him. He reaching for air. Nobody on this defense played that well. Nobody.
I would say the linebackers did a thing. They shut down the run, but that's all I can say. And that pocket was collapsed every single run by the Bengals. Other than that, the Bengals were smart enough to switch it up, and the defense wasn't.
But this is who the Bengals are. The Bengals are on a running team. They got two of the best. They got two number ones. You got Higgins and you got Chase. Come on, man. Y'all know who they are. You play this team twice a year. Man, Mike McDonald had this team in handcuffs last year, bro. Zach Orr. Man, take a page out of Mike McDonald's book. Something. Come on, man. That was ridiculous yesterday. That was not Ravens defense yesterday.
That was brutal.
They couldn't stop. They couldn't stop win with a parachute, bro.
No, hell no. I gotta agree with that. And it was literally just Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Jamar Chase had 10 receptions. T. Higgins had 9. Everybody else had below not even 4. So they knew who they were going for, and they did nothing to prepare, switch, do whatever. Nothing. They just let it happen. Looking at these numbers, my goodness, they literally targeted the 2 hottest receivers on the Bengals, and they succeeded. Jamar Chase, 193 yards. T. Higgins, 83. 9 receptions. Like, guys, you see where Joe Burrow's throwing. You know who he's going to throw to. I'm not saying do something weird like double coverage and let someone else be open, but I mean, if he's burning you, back off the line a little bit. When they start to go to the slants, then you press up. That's all I can say, because from what I see right here, is weird. This Ravens offense crumbled yesterday. It was hard to watch, and we just, bro, we knew it. Yeah. We knew it was going to happen. After the Ravens score, I was like, okay, well, Bengals about to score again, and it happened. Ravens score. Bengals about to score again. They get the one play, Jamar Chase, 70 yards on a screen. Like, what are these guys doing? It's just like, oh, hey, he's too fast. I don't know what to do with him. Well, apparently so. He's splitting triple coverage. There were 3 Ravens in the area when he scored that touchdown. Thread that needle, and Joe Burrow just dropped it to him. Not to mention, the defensive line gave Joe Burrow all day.
Yeah, they didn't get much pressure on him yesterday at all.
Like, they didn't. Let me see. I mean,
Matabike made a play when he had to. They got a couple sacks on him.
You're right, 2 sacks. 3 sacks. Robinson, Matabike, and Kyle Hamilton. They got 3 sacks on him.
But okay, let's think about it in this perspective. When we talked about the Vikings and Jets, they only had 3 sacks on Rodgers, but it felt like more because they were hitting him, they were knocking him down, they were in his face, they were pressuring him, they were hurrying him. Man, Joe Burrow did what he wanted. He was back there doing whatever he wanted.
I got one thing to attest to that. Who was it? I think it was I want to say it was Matabike's roughing the passer.
Yeah, that was
it was BS, but I think that kind of had, maybe an effect. I have no idea. I mean, Lamar Jackson's. I mean, it shouldn't have. You're right, but I feel like Lamar Jackson's roughing the passer flag that he got was blatant. Like the man. What? Yeah, number. Hendrickson.
I mean, Hendrickson. Yeah.
Hendrickson? Okay. Hendrickson, whatever. Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Now, that was a blatant roughing the passer. He throws all his weight down just on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
He did.
And that
didn't do that.
Right. No, Matabike didn't do that. It was a normal tackle.
It was a shoulder to the stomach, and you could see how he kind of, when he landed on, he didn't throw his weight on it when he landed on him.
Exactly.
He kind of landed to the side so he wouldn't. It didn't matter too much because it was a touchdown. That was a Jamar Chase touchdown, right?
Right.
So in hindsight, it didn't matter because it was like, okay, that's a BS call, but they scored anyway. Who cares? So it shouldn't have affected them in their rush. It was just, they just didn't. And this is, okay. This is what burns me up about this team and this defense. They were on their 3rd right tackle. They were on their third right tackle for a good part of that game. And you couldn't get pressure there. You couldn't scheme up something on that side, a stunt, something to confuse them. Nothing. Come on, man. That's when you eat. Oh, they on their third left or right tackle. Oh, let's eat. That's what we do. They don't. I just don't understand how this defense doesn't take advantage because they definitely take advantage. If one of our linemen go out, oh God, you can guarantee 2 or 3 plays later, somebody's in Lamar's face. They know how to attack the weakness in our line, but we just can't do it with other teams, man. It baffles me. They looked lost yesterday. They did. Okay. And I know people are going to say, well, the Bengals, yeah, they the Bengals can score with the best of them. They haven't been doing it a whole lot this year. I mean, when you look at the games that they played this year, I mean, they only scored 10 points against the Patriots, man. 26 against the Chiefs. We saw that. 25 against the Chiefs. 33 against the Commanders, but the Commanders don't have a killer defense either. I mean, I know they're pretty high as far as like offense, but that's because they've been behind a lot. They've been behind a lot. Okay, they scored 34 on the Panthers, but who doesn't score a bunch of points on the Panthers? That's their only win.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick. Do you think the fact that it was a division game, made this game for whatever that was? Do you think the fact that it wasn't just, we're just playing this team? No, they're in our division. We need to show out. Do you think that played a factor in this game?
Oh, of course. It's a division game. So you always want to, they don't like us and we don't like them. Right?
Right.
They famous for running their mouth, thinking that they're better than they are. They're not. The Ravens know how to win Super Bowls. We don't lose. When we get there, we don't lose. Right? It's a division game. It's always going to be tough, right? Division games are always tough. Case in point, the Cardinals aren't that good of a team, but they beat the 49ers yesterday. Division game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, of course, you're going to give them your best because the Bengals played that game like they needed it. And you can tell the difference was, put that jersey up one more time so I can see the number. That was the difference yesterday. That 8. That was the difference. The Bengals were desperate, but Lamar said, okay, I get it. Y'all desperate. Y'all not winning today. Y'all are not winning today.
Even Justin Tucker said that.
I was just, bro, you read my mind. That was just about to come out my mouth. Even Justin Tucker. Nah. Did you see that kick? Bro, that kick was he kicked that like a straight fade with a golf club. He played the wind. Did you see the window?
Yes, it went. Look,
the flags were like this.
Right.
The flags were like this. So he saw that, and he played it. Man, he kicked it here, and you saw it. By the time it went through the goalpost, it was right down the freaking middle.
No, that's right.
He kicked that thing perfect.
Wide left.
Perfectly.
I want to tell you something. When he kicked that ball, and we saw it go wide left at first, oh man, I clinched, and then it started to come back, and I'm like, what's happening? What is happening? And right down the crosshair.
I'm gonna tell you why. You know why I didn't? Because that's Justin Tucker's. That's the way Justin Tucker kicks. All his kicks come facing the goalpost. When he kicks it, it always goes left to right. His kicks always go left to right.
He nailed it.
And then you see him go left to right. That's how Justin Tucker kicks. Always left to right. It was just lined up perfectly because they were on the left hash, and he kicked it a little bit more left to right than he usually does, and he had to because of the wind.
That's right.
He kicked it like he wanted to miss it, and the wind took the rest of it.
That's right.
Was perfect. By the time it went through the uprights, it was perfectly down the middle.
I can't say the same thing for McPherson.
He needed. Well, yeah. Well, the holder dropped the ball on that, which again, like we talked about, Sam Darnold dropped the ball. Lamar dropped it twice. What did the NFL grease these balls up or what? I mean, what's going on?
Too much air.
Because
There's too much air in them.
I mean, something, because you saw the holder grabbed it and it dropped. Thank you for that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, that game is just so weird and fluky, but damn, it was fun to watch. But that defense, if they don't, I said this last week, bro, that it wasn't going to look the same.
It didn't.
The game wasn't going to look the same.
It did not. Yep.
That defense is not just going to give up 10 points. It's not going to happen every week. The offense ran for like 500 yards rushing. Not going to happen every week. But what the Ravens showed me was, okay, when you shut us down rushing, oh, we'll still get you. Lamar will still get you. We still got Superman out there. He put his cape on. He was Thanos, and he grabbed that Infinity Gauntlet and said,
he snapped his fingers. That's it.
He put that, and I tweeted that yesterday. He put that on and said, fine, I'll do it myself.
He looked beautiful out there. Those passes were, I got to eat some crow right now, because I know I talked about how the accuracy of some of his passes were just, overthrown or under. I mean, there was like a couple in that game, but the defense was in his face. But when he has time, even when, and I got to even take that back, even when he was under pressure, running to the sideline, tosses it up. It was an accurate pass.
Bro, they were blitzing him mostly on second down. They brought a lot of zero blitzes, right? They did. They brought a lot of zero blitzes, and Lamar beat it. He was beating the blitz all night. They were blitzing them a lot of zero coverage blitzes too. Like, they were coming because they were like, okay, we're not going to let you sit back. But he was making the right decision every time. And I think that's the evolution of Lamar Jackson, bro. I think we're starting to see the best of Lamar, because he's making decisions that he didn't make a few years ago. He's making better decisions with the ball, especially through the air. The man's 11 touchdowns, 1 pick.
No, that's pretty good.
Amazing. He's playing amazing. He could be on his way to a third MVP. If they keep rolling and they get close to being the 1 seed in the AFC again, I could see him
making a run.
Making a run, getting another MVP. I could see it. I could see it.
I would definitely say so. I mean, before it was the passes weren't there and he would run the ball, but that game yesterday, when the run wasn't there, his passes were great. And that offense, I mean, I know we're talking about defense right now, but that offense, I didn't have, besides the muffing the balls and stuff like that, whatever that was, I don't know. But the offense looked great yesterday. They looked so good. I'm talking the run game wasn't working that well, so they go to passing. And then they haven't ran the ball in a while. Overtime, Henry breaks the big run play. It's like, hey, man, the offense looked amazing. It is literally just the defense that I feel like is going to hold the team as a whole when it comes to, I mean, if they're going to win or lose. If the defense comes out high flying and if the offense comes out high flying and the defense really isn't there, I mean, just like yesterday, defense wasn't there. There was no defense, if you ask me. Every time the Bengals touched the ball. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was no defense out there. It was up and down the field. All games a shootout, 41-38. Now, all of our games, I don't believe are going to be like this, but if the Ravens offense can keep what they're doing and just through the season, if one thing doesn't work, don't be afraid to change it. And if it is working, don't change it, John Harbaugh. Don't change it.
Don't get in the way. Don't get in the way. What I loved about yesterday, and I'm kind of off the defense. If let's jump off the defense,
okay?
Because we all know we know what time
they weren't there, non-existent, ghost town.
Before I get to my point with the offense, what I'll say is this: we're 5 games in. Zach Orr, this is his first time. We saw this a little bit with Mike McDonald. We did, right? As good as he was, we saw this a little bit with Mike McDonald. Mainly like that Dolphins debacle when we were up like 3 touchdowns and we lost.
How about that?
And they lit us up. We've seen this before. I think the one thing about the NFL is you can get right defensively more than you can get right offensively, right? Like you can right the ship on defense. They have the talent. And it's funny because I saw on social media that Ed Reed was out at Owens Mills and he left something on the board for Marlon Humphrey. He said communication and he signed it. 20 was here. They didn't communicate yesterday at all.
Right.
Too many blown coverages, right? But I think they can get right. Offensively, what was the most encouraging to me, bro? Lamar threw the ball 42 times, but they ran the ball 34 times. They ran the ball enough to keep them honest. Play action, every time they ran play action, though, because you have a Derrick Henry, open. But that's only because you got Derrick Henry. And you saw what happened in overtime. 51-yard, sealed the game.
That's it. Dagger.
Right? And that is what's good. That's what can make this this offense so scary, bro. Because if a defense knows that this dude can break it any given time, when you go back there and you put that ball out like he's going to grab it, you can't not commit to that, even just a little bit. You got to take that step or two because you don't know.
Right. You don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Running play action with Derrick Henry, and trust me, those guys will be open.
That's right.
That's encouraging to me.
No, they
ran the ball enough. They ran the ball enough to keep them honest, and that's why they scored 41 points. Because the defense only got 1 turnover. So that was all offense.
That's it, yeah. And it was a clutch moment. It was definitely a clutch moment, yeah.
There was no kick returns. There was no punt returns. There was no kickoff returns. There was no interception returns. All 41 of those points came a la Lamar Jackson in that offense.
And Justin Tucker.
Well, yeah, and Justin Tucker. But I mean, of course, the offense is what got them there.
Oh, no, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
right.
no, most definitely. Yes, sir.
Right. Put them in position to even score. But, man, it was a great game. To put a bow on it, to put a bow on this, look, bro, it was a shootout. Like you said, it was a heavyweight fight. And I loved it. As much as like I'm in the edge, you said it, edge of my seat, nail bites her. But I loved it. Game of the year so far. They were swinging. They were swinging yesterday.
I wonder if it'll catch the high. If the play of the week might be in there somewhere.
Oh, you think? You think that Lamar touchdown to likely won't be the play of the week?
I think it will. Either that or that should be, since we won. Because if we didn't win, it probably would have been Jamar Chase's 70-yard screen touchdown.
I mean, but nowhere in the same stratosphere. That's not even in the same galaxy of what Lamar did. Drop the ball. Literally, again, I'll explain it again. For those people, if you want me out, let's run through that again. It was this good. That's how good it was. The man drops the ball, crawls on the ground, picks it up, gets up, has the wherewithal to say, okay, let me reset. Rolls out, got a lineman who's easily 60, probably 60 to 70 pounds heavier than he is. Stiff arms him, not once, but twice. Pushes him to the ground. He falls flat. Continues to roll. Again, directs traffic in the middle of all of that. has a linebacker just coming straight for him, full speed. He got the wherewithal to just literally start jumping out of bounds, let the ball go, and hit Likely in the back of the end zone. It's the play of the year so far.
That was
Lamar.
beautiful.
That's Lamar. That is Lamar. But it just goes to show, bro. It's like, I don't care what none of y'all say. Everybody always wants, I hear all this like Jalen Daniels. And I think the kid's good. And we're going to see this week because they play against one another. We got Washington this week. That's a dub. That's a dub. And then we're playing at home. I could see the defense maybe getting a little right against Jalen Daniels. You got people that got the nerve to say, well, Jalen Daniels is what we wanted Lamar to look like. What are you smoking? What are you smoking? That kid is not even on the same planet as Lamar Jackson. Why don't y'all just stop? Lamar Jackson is one of the most hated athletes I've ever seen in my life. It's like people just want. Let me tell you the society we living in, bro. Because I know and I'm just ranting right now. Let me jump on my soapbox for a second. We see this a lot with entertainment, mainly video games. If you start to see a lot of negative reviews for a video game, you have a lot of people that'll jump on the bandwagon that hasn't even played the game. They ain't even seen it. But they'll jump on the bandwagon, right? Because they figure, well, I don't want to be left out. I want to say it's crap too. You never even played it. There are so many people who look at Lamar, and because they see a lot of these people on these 3 and 4 letter networks nitpicking what Lamar does and constantly bringing him down, they want to try to be on the right side of it. So, yeah, Lamar ain't really that good. It's like, what are you smoking? That man is a 2-time MVP in the National Football League. He should be the only 2-time unanimous MVP. And you mean to tell me you're trying to compare a rookie with 5 games of experience in the NFL? You mean to tell me you want to compare a 2-time MVP to a rookie?
How can you do
Y'all
that?
reaching. Y'all are reaching. I mean, they already be trying to tell us how Josh Allen is better than Lamar Jackson. On what planet? Again, he just showed that last week. Josh Allen went 9 for 30 yesterday.
Ooh.
Against the Texans. He went 9 for 30. 9 for let me say that again for the people in the back who didn't hear. Hold on. Josh Allen went 9 for 30 yesterday. And y'all want to tell me he's better than Lamar Jackson, that he's the real MVP. What are y'all on right now? Stop. Okay? It's like that Jordan meme, right? Stop it. Get some help. Seriously. Just stop. Stop hating on this man because you feel like you just want to. Stop. Lamar Jackson is a superstar. Lamar Jackson is right now the best football player in the National Football League. He is. Stop it. All right, let me step off the soapbox.
No, that was good. I felt it. I definitely felt it. I agree with you.
Y'all gonna put some respect on. Y'all gonna put some respect on my man's name.
Yeah, I put some respect on his name.
He deserves every darn Heisman, MVP, all that. There's nobody else I would want quarterbacking the Ravens than Lamar Jackson. I would pick Lamar Jackson 7 days out the week and twice on Sunday.
Right.
Please, get out of my face.
Gonna be a sad day when there's no more Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
Man,
I
I
hope
said,
that's when he
I said that
retires.
3 times, bro. I said that 3 times yesterday. I said, man, I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah,
when he stops playing.
I hope he. I
God,
hope he plays
I'm gonna
with
miss him
us
so much.
through his career. I hope he does. And when he retires, to be like, hey,
He's
you
already a Hall of Famer, bro.
exactly. The one thing I do hope is, and I guess this is reaching. This is way far in the future. Whenever he retires, I hope they go with someone that can, I would say, do the same thing, because what Lamar does, I'm not, and you know what, I'm not even going to say the same thing. Just a running quarterback. You know what I mean? Baltimore for years has been a running team. They held the tag 3-headed monster. I believe they have it back now. It's just a little weird because your quarterback is your third running back.
At least he's not leading the team in rushing.
If he was, that would be a problem. If he was,
yeah. If you got Derrick Henry and he's still leading the team in rushing, we got a problem.
I mean, he's close. He's close. 55 yards in that game rushing, and not on top of his QB rating.
If Derrick didn't get that run in overtime, yeah, he would have had more yards.
Exactly. No, that's it. You said it. Yep. If Derrick Henry didn't get that break in overtime, no, look, and we'll put it like this. We'll put a bow in it. We're definitely running over. Mm. If Derrick Henry did not have that break in overtime, Lamar Jackson would have led the team in rushing yards. But in regulation, Lamar Jackson did lead the team.
Was leading the team
in rushing yards. Yeah. In regulation. Yeah. And as a quarterback, it's like, hey, if he's comfortable with multiple hats, hey, do your thing, bro.
Right. Let's put a bow on this, bro, real quick. Your offensive star of the game.
Oh, Lamar Jackson, hands down, Lamar Jackson. That, like, man, we talked about that play, I think 5 times this show. The shot to Likely the end zone, the shot to Charlie Kohler, hit the 55 yards rushing. Man, Lamar Jackson, hands down, he gets the star.
Yeah, Lamar. I'm not. You can't go wrong with that. But I'm gonna go somewhere else, right? I'm gonna go Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers.
I'm gonna go Zay. Zay showed up yesterday. He did. I mean, even the receiving core period, right? They showed up. Zay and Bate led the team in receptions and yards. They showed up yesterday. The receivers showed up yesterday. Could have went Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry just, does Derrick Henry things. Derrick Henry, he sealed the game, Yeah,
he did.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go with the wide receivers because they showed up. If the wide receivers didn't show up yesterday, we lose that game. And they showed up.
That's right.
They showed up yesterday. You got a defensive star of the game? I know who you picking. Want me pick it for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Marlon Humphrey.
He came in with a clutch interception.
He made the play. Bro, he made the play.
He did.
When they needed it, he made it.
He did it. He
made it, right?
Yeah. And look, we were saying that the whole game. Once we saw it was a shootout, they kept scoring both teams. The defense had to show up. The Ravens defense had to show up on a drive of play. And Marlon Humphrey did that for us. Clutch.
Well, look, right. The whole game, I'll say, okay, whoever blinks first, whoever makes the first mistake, they're going to lose the game. And it was the Bengals.
Yep.
Granted, we fumbled the ball in overtime, but I said, whoever blinks first, whoever makes the first mistake, they're going to lose the game. And they did. That interception was it. Now it could have been Lamar's fumble. He's got to clean that up. He dropped the ball twice. He can't do that. It was almost costly. It almost cost your team the game. But whoever blinked first.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they lost.
And
mine is Marlon Humphrey. I'm giving it to Marlo.
Go ahead.
He made the play.
I'll give it to him as well. Marlon Humphrey.
Hell of a play too. Yeah, I'm with you.
And a soft shout out. I got to do this before we wrap this up. Justin Tucker.
Oh yeah, top. Yeah.
He finally connected on the clutch field goals. He's been shaky all season, missing a field goal per week. He came out yesterday, made 2 good field goals for us. The chip shots are good; they're clean. But I'm talking the over to get us to overtime, and I'm talking after Derrick Henry's a big run in overtime to seal the game for us. So soft shout out to JT for showing up, man. We knew you could do it.
Well, Justin Tucker's going to show up every week. He may have missed those kicks, but when we need it, and nine's lining up, I'm not sweating. If we need it, he's going to get it.
I was sweating when it went wide left first. I was sweating. I was sweating.
Left to right, bro. That's how he does it.
Left to right.
That's how he does it. Left to right. Just pay attention to his kicks and notice how they, from the TV angle, they start out right and come left. But I'm telling you, from his angle, he always goes left to right. He always start here and come back. So next week, Vikings on the bye, so we don't have to predict that game. Commanders at the Ravens.
Battle of the Beltways.
Dub, L. What you say?
I say a dub. If the Ravens come out playing like they did against the Bills, and the offense is high flying like they did against the Bengals in that division game, even though Bengals defense is really not that good, I think they can crush the Commanders.
You think it's a blowout?
Now that's tough. I'm not going to say a blowout. I will say the defense could possibly hold them to under 20 points.
If the defense holds the Commanders to under 20 points, it's a blowout.
Well, it depends if the offense
is scoring. Double-digit win. It's a double-digit win for the Ravens.
Oh.
Lamar Jackson is 21-1 against the NFC.
Let that sink in.
That's a dub. I'm predicting double-digit win. Chalk it up. So, Commander fans, if y'all listening, don't take this whooping personally.
No, take it personally.
Because it's nothing personal. It's all business.
No, it's personal because I know it's probably somebody who live in PG County that created this battle of the beltways, whatever you want to call it. Your stadium's in Maryland.
I don't live that way anymore, so it's not that personal to me. Because I don't have Commander or Deadskin fans chirping at me. So
your stadium's.
If I was still back there, it might be personal. But
FedEx Field's in Maryland.
It is.
Landover.
It's in Landover, yeah.
So
DC's in Maryland. DC's in Maryland. It's a District of Columbia.
Let them tell you. They'll say it different, but FedEx Field is in Landover, Maryland. So technically, Maryland has 2 football teams. They just DC Commander, Deskin, whatever you want to call it. Maryland has 2 football teams.
They do.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm done. I'm out. But
that's going to wrap it up, everybody.
FedEx Field's in Maryland.
That's going to wrap it up. That's what we're going to finish with that. FedEx Field's in Maryland. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We appreciate y'all. Again, you're going to get more of this content every week. We're going to do a show every week, just recapping the games, Ravens and Vikings, especially the big ones. We're going to. It's still going to be an hour-long show next week. We're going to focus just on the Ravens and Commanders. The Vikings are on a bye, so we're going to get into this game a little bit heavier than we normally do. But it's going to be a good one. Battle of the Beltway coming up, and we're going to have fun with this one. Thank everybody for coming out. Please like, subscribe. It's free. If you like the content, we greatly appreciate it. And
if you don't, that's fine.
Anything else you want to say, bro, before we get out of here?
Oh, yeah. FedEx Fields in Maryland.
FedEx Fields in Maryland.
Landover, Maryland.
Thank you, everybody. Love. Peace.
Mikey Numchuck. Tori's son. FedEx Fields in Maryland. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace and love.